Welcome to Melber's Weird and Wonderful. Today I'll show you how I made this very beautiful alcohol ink mica powder tumbler. I put out at least one new video every week, so please do subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Alright, so I was asked if you can make a color changing tumbler with alcohol ink, and since I've never tried that, I usually just use food coloring. I thought we'd give that a shot today. So what I'm going to use for this is purple mica powder, and I'm going to use magenta alcohol ink, and this says resin dye on it, but it is alcohol ink. So we are also going to need distilled water and glue if you wish. You don't have to add the glue. I think in this one I'm going to not put the glue in because I get so many questions. If you have to add the glue, what happens if you don't add the glue? So let's make a non-glue one with alcohol ink. So it'll answer 2 questions on one video. So let's get started. All right, so how I'm going to fill this, I'm going to use a squeeze bottle, and I'm going to use the mica powder. So let's measure out some mica powder here. And instead of using scoops, I'm going to use milliliters. Whoops, if I cannot make a big mess. So I'm using about 7.5 milliliters of mica powder. So we've used about 2/3 of a cup of water into this bottle, and I'll see how much it actually fills. People keep asking me how much water I put into them, and I honestly don't measure, so I just fill them till they're full. Oh, and for this project, the hollowed wall tumbler, I get this one at Michael's. If you're looking for a better quality tumbler, get the Starbucks ones. Some of these leak. Be prepared if you're using cheaper tumblers that they can leak on you, so you're better off to buy a Starbucks tumbler if you want something that is better quality. But for what I'm using these for, which is tutorials, they're more cost effective for me. So we've put our alcohol ink into the squeeze bottle. I think I'm going to add a little more because it's a little not quite as bright as I want it to be. And I find when you put the liquid into the tumblers, it tends to wash out the color a little more. So there we go. And I'm going to add the mica powder to this. And if you want to add glue to this, it'll just make the mica powder settle more slowly. But we're going to try one without it and see what happens. I usually add a little bit of glue to this. But again, I keep getting questions what happens if you don't add the glue, so we're not going to add it. So this is what the tumbler will look like, is the purple when you shake it. And then when it settles, it should be the pink. So we're going to add that to the tumbler. And the 2/3 of a cup of water was a little more than what we needed to fill this. So I would say probably, well, not quite 2/3 anyway. And I do try to get these as full as possible with as little air in them. You can drill a relief hole if you want. It'll get more air out as well. I don't. I hate sealing tumblers, and I hate sealing additional holes, which is the main reason I don't make a relief hole. So what we're going to do now is wipe the top of this with alcohol and seal your tumbler. I just made a really great video on sealing tumblers, so if you need any help sealing tumblers, do check that video out. And I have 3 different ways of sealing tumblers, one of which requires no resin for people who are allergic to resin. Alright, so here's the finished tumbler. The only thing I notice is the pink does not seem to be as bright, and it actually looks almost like some of the mica's hanging in the tumbler. And I'm going to try this again just to see if it's something else wrong, but let's give it a shake anyways, and we'll see what this looks like. It's still very pretty. I'm just finding you're not getting the contrast, so I'm going to try this once more with a different color and we'll see. But regardless, it's still beautiful, and with just water in there it works just fine. It just settles quite a bit quicker, which is actually not a terrible thing. So there you go, 1 alcohol ink mica powder color changing tumbler. I put out at least 1 new video every week, so please subscribe. Thanks for watching.